I see it running. I see it up here. Oh, I didn't charge the. Hey, Tom, do you have yours running?
Can you see?
Can you? My battery died and I forgot. If you don't mind, and then you could just generate that way, because I like to follow up what you talked about and say, thank you, sir. Oh, you wait. Don't jump the gun yet. That's an insider tip. You stay to the end.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Morning. All right. Everybody knows me here, I think. But we got Chris Baker here. Hi, Chris. From what I've been told, he's been teaching AI for a long time, right? 2003.
Since ChatGPT came out in Thanksgiving of 23.
Wow. So who knew that there was AI in 2003? Because I didn't.
Only 23. No, that's why.
2003, I can tell you exactly where I was. That's another story. So welcome. Appreciate everybody showing up. My goal is to try to get not just Keller Williams agents, real estate professionals in general. And I think we have some on Zoom too. So without further ado, I'll let Chris take over. But hopefully we all learn something, get something from this, because I'm very interested. I went to a Keller Williams mastermind about AI, and it does a lot. Like you could, I don't want to steal his thunder, but there's a lot, and I think Chris is more than willing to come back and we get more. Hopefully, we get more agents back in the seat and learn what he's got to say. All right.
Okay. Thank you. Well, first of all, let me say thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. You'll learn a little bit about me. One of the things I like to just start off is my disclaimer. I'm high energy. I like to bring a lot of information, and I'm also a caffeine addict. So my tendency to talk rapidly and fast is due to the fact that I like to present as much information as I can in a short amount of time without boring you. The downside is like people walk out of every single class. What just happened? My head hurts. So two things. One, it's being broadcast and recorded on Zoom. I also record it so that I can upload it to my YouTube channel. And I'm happily going to send you the slides and a little treat at the end I'll demonstrate. We're also recording it using AI with this device, which I'll go into later. So there'll be a bevy of options for you to review. So sit back, enjoy, watch. This class is nothing in the sense that you need to remember everything because it's going to be too much. But if you see something you're like, I'm not quite sure I understand, interrupt me. There's no real structure to this. But I just wanted to give that disclaimer because a lot of people go, how do I remember all this stuff? My goal is just to kind of present you guys with ideas, suggestions, and ways AI is being used. You may know some of them, you may not be aware of others, and I'm just here to kind of get you a little bit of a head start because we are entering into a phase of life that since 2023, when this came out at ChatGPT, where it's going now, and I'm not trying to be hyperbolic, but the advent of AI, they're comparing to the importance of not only more than the internet, but more than fire and electricity. And people go, that's ridiculous. But guys, this is impacting not just real estate, every aspect of life. In just the 2 years I've been teaching this class, I have reiterated this presentation well over 50 times because the moment I walk out this door, everything I talk about is already being replaced and gotten better, faster, cheaper, and easier accessible. So today, let me start a little bit about a little guy called Tom Ferry. Now, Tom Ferry is probably someone you guys know, and let me see if this is presenting because there looks like there's a little bit of a delay because my screen is not showing up on, let's see, we are hooked, there we go. Tom Ferry is basically the guru of real estate trainers, I think, and he likes to talk about something that I get a lot of questions about when I'm done my presentation. Well, Chris, if this AI is, and I'm not sure what's going on here, but if you could let me know, I've got a little bit of a delay. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Tom Ferry talks about the relevance of agents. A lot of people go, Chris, you've talked about all this technology. You've talked about all these tools. What's the point? If I'm just going to be replaced by AI, why do I even bother? It's just something that's inevitable. And I go, wait, it's not that AI is going to replace you. It's going to be the realtor that's implementing AI that's going to replace you. So I'm not here to tell you got to do everything, But I need you to understand that this is happening whether you like it or not, kind of like the internet. It happened whether you like it or not, and this is going to be impacting all of us. So this is his little spiel on the relevance of realtors and where we are with AI in the future. And let's see, do we have sound? Because I know it's not playing on a computer, and do you think it's due to the fact that we're sharing over Zoom? Because I think that's impacting the presentation because it's playing, but it's not playing sound. And do you have it over speakers, or I can play it through my computers? Hang tight, technical difficulty. Isn't it ironic? We're teaching about... This person here is amazing. She has helped me with every single thing, and I wouldn't even know. Let's see. We're just going through the sound features right now. So,
how many cups of coffee have you had?
I've only had one, so that's why I'm warning you. The worst case scenario, I would say, is if it ends up being that we can't do it over Zoom because of the delay, we'll send out the video of the presentation. It's funny, usually when I'm in an office without technology, I have a projector and a big screen and a Bluetooth speaker. So we usually try to accommodate all that, but is it under sound? Output?
It shouldn't be sound or output or anything like that. The problem, do you have your sound turned on?
Mm-hmm. Audio output. So it's playing virtual. Will it play through the speakers in the room and then broadcast audio over the TVs, and then it can be picked up by that speaker there?
I ordered flax. I didn't buy it.
And I think we are still going to have a delay on the video,
So I got the ones from.
as we're seeing here. And I'm trying to figure out what is causing that. So, while you continue, I'm going to see if I can figure out the display.
So it's not playing any sound.
Well, the TV is also delayed.
I'm sorry. Do you think it would be beneficial to stop the Zoom? Oh, there we go. All right. It was just the volume. All right. So let's start back over with.
Sit up, say it all the time.
All right. So I'm going to pause.
Okay.
This is throwing me off. Okay. And if I do.
There's like a 3-second delay on what you see on the
Sit
TV.
up, say it all the time. And in my opinion, the answer is, of course, yes. Not just because I'm biased, but I think about it this way. No different from a robot that might be able to perform the surgery a little bit better or be a little more precise than the actual surgeon. The surgeon is going to be there to make sure that everything is right. That could be the role of a real estate professional 30 or 40 years from now, where maybe AI and a robot is doing a lot of the mundane tasks, the sort of industrialization of a real estate transaction. Maybe that's not going to be done by you anymore. But what is going to be done by you is the conversations with the client. Right? It's the guiding of the customer. It's looking into their eyes and seeing their emotion and making sure that you have the empathy and the ability to connect with them and help them make good decisions. The actual sausage making of the transaction, you're not going to be involved with. All that's going to be gone. It's going to be you and the client, and that is always going to be our place.
So the point of that is, guys, don't worry. Technology is always going to be relevant and pertinent to our path, but it's going to be the relationships that we build. This business has always been about person to person, belly to belly. It's literally what I started in this business. I remember in 1996, 97, when the internet came out, my mother, who was my broker, basically came out and said, Chris, what's this internet thing? Is this something we're going to need to be concerned about in the real estate business? And to this day, I cringe when I hear it. I remember looking at her and going, Mom, don't worry about it. That's only going to be for e-commerce. Probably a word we haven't heard in a while, but I kick myself looking back, because at that time when we wanted to look at new properties, we had listing books, and listing books were the new thing. And I was a 19-year-old kid surrounded by to a lot of older agents, and it was one of those things that when the internet came out, it revolutionized. And every time something new came out, everyone lost their mind. Oh my God, have you seen this BlackBerry thing? Have you seen this pager thing? What's the internet? Just like anything else, I came from a world that I understand how your business works. I did it for 30 years. I like to joke that I started when I was 5, when my mom was licensed, because I thought everybody's mother drove around and showed property and shuffled papers. So Helen and I respect what you're doing, because I begrudgingly became a realtor because I'm like, why would I want to do that? My dad was a teacher, my mom was a realtor. Then I started seeing all the trips and cars and fur coats. I'm like, I want to do that. So we actually started a title company in 2003, right before the market crash. That was one of the things that got me into this business. I kept my license concurrently. COVID hit, I thought, I could do this real estate thing again. I like it, and I appreciate, you know, the money that is being made. And then I got burnt out, and really, I have nothing but love for this business. I just wanted a little bit of more time with my son on the weekends, and I joke that that's ironic because agents only work on the weekends, and that's when my clients call me. So I'm affiliated with Liberty Title, and yes, I'm sorry.
Let's go ahead and pause for a second while we wait for this to catch up anyways.
The delay.
Yep. I think I might have a solution for
Oh,
that.
she fixes everything. From the moment I walked in the door, she's helped every single solution that I had, problem I've had. So let's give it up for Kalani. By the end of this program, she's going to have a raise. No.
Let's hope.
She wouldn't even tell us what she's doing. She's so good.
Yeah, she's got secret codes over there.
Nobody look. Nobody look.
I'm just trying to connect to a different Wi-Fi.
We're going to a different Wi-Fi.
See if that's one of the issues. And then how many devices do you currently have connected to this? It looks like you've got your
Just my
phone,
iPad?
your iPad.
I don't, and the phone's not connected, so just the iPad, because it gives me my notes.
Gotcha. Is there any way that you could disconnect it?
I can. Let's do.
Turn Bluetooth off for a second?
Yeah, go right ahead. Will it need me to be off the whole time?
Potentially. If it solves the lag issue, then
Okay.
yes.
Because I just connected to it,
Okay.
so I don't know if the lag. Hang in there, guys.
All right. Go ahead and continue. We'll see if we still have that lag.
Oh, yeah. Are you?
Our goal at Kennedy Talent is not just to have you be a rock star real estate agent or market center leader, but to take you to being
Turning
a
off Bluetooth
world-class.
disconnected us from that.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll do without the iPad. Take it, simple. As long as the sound plays and I can do the presentation, I'll have it.
Yeah, yeah. And what'd you say?
All right, let's get on the screen. Share. All right, we're gonna see how this goes. Let's see if we go. Oh, I don't even know. Oh, this is fun. Oh, look at that. That seems to be a lot faster. All right. Let me start off with the disclaimer that everything we're going to talk about today, I get it. AI is overwhelming. Technology is overwhelming. And as a Gen Xer who grew up in this world with ADD, every time there's a new tool, it's the new shiny object. Ooh, I want that. I have had every single gadget. I am the guy that slept at the mall to get the new iPhone. Yes, I was that bad until recently. I mean, it's one of those things that when technology comes out, we all want to be better. We want to be faster. We want to be more efficient. The problem is that it's inescapable that this is just moving too fast. So what I like to say is this is equivalent to when the App Store came out on the iPhone. We had this device in our pocket with the entire world of things that we could do with it, and we just didn't know where to begin. So what did we all do? We downloaded everything. And then our phones kept run down with all these different apps. It's the same thing with AI. You guys are gonna see a lot of different tools today. You're gonna see a lot of different techniques, websites, and suggestions. And by no means are these the only things you can do with it. I'm just here to prompt an aha moment. Like, wait a minute, I didn't know AI could do that. Wait a minute, that's something I want to learn more about. So after today, if you see something you want to delve deeper in, I can come back and we can do a more hands-on demonstration. But today it's just giving you the big picture. So I like to start with the OG old school one that probably everyone in this room has heard about. Reason I like to start with ChatGPT is because it's the one that came out and started this all. I remember on Thanksgiving of 23, this is when we were all just coming out of COVID and we start seeing this thing called ChatGPT. What is ChatGPT? And I kept seeing people talk about it. it turned out that at the time we didn't know it, it was the fastest growing company in the history of the world. It was able to reach 100 million people in 3 months. Now it's more than half the planet uses it. And a lot of people go, well, what is Chat GPT? Without getting too technical, it's basically the chat, which is your ability to converse with it. And the GPT just means generative pre-trained transformer. In English, that means you have a chatbot that can communicate with a really, really smart interface and talk to you like a human. It has access to every knowledge in the world, every video, every conversation, every topic on the internet, and you can basically have any expert conversation you want and talk to it and have it respond as if it's human. Now, the old way of communicating just over a text and keyboard is still pertinent, but there's so much more to that, and we'll demonstrate that today. Another really popular one that I like to use is Claude. This is another fantastic service. This is more aligned with specific answers as opposed to the general information ChatGPT does. It's also really, really, really good at formulas, coding, and data manipulation, and we'll demonstrate that in a little bit. Gemini is Google's version of AI. They were not going to sit by idly and watch their entire existential existence disappear. It came out of nowhere with ChatGPT, and ChatGPT's been eating Google for lunch. However, I do think Gemini is rapidly catching up and almost surpassing in many features. The benefit to Google Gemini is you have access to all of Google's products. So if it's YouTube, Gmail, Google Search, Google Maps, all of that is integrated, and it's fantastic what you can do with it. So we're going to delve a little bit into each of them. Grok, and I'm not trying to get political, but this is the X, formerly known as Twitter's social media. You can have your opinion with regard to that aspect, but I do want you to be aware that Grok has something that the others don't, and that is access to live, real stream data of Twitter, and no one can argue that that is, whether it's good or bad, it's going to give you relevance in terms of real-time information that people are talking about that the others don't. Because when you talk to the other chatbots, yes, they have access to the internet, but it's not going to be as concise and real-time as Grok. So again, just want you to be aware of it. Yes?
Really quick, Gemini, does it also have access to Google Drive if you're logged into a Google account?
Yes, it's one of the Google services, and not to get too far into that, but one of the benefits I like about it is when you tie your Google accounts with your Google Drive, your Google products, and you have vast amounts of accounts and data, and you want to talk or use AI to integrate with that data, that's a fantastic example. I'm going to show you even better way using Google's Notebook LM in a few moments, which is the real power of AI and Google, but I'm just letting you know the different ones out here. Now, Perplexity, besides ChatGPT, I think is the one I use the most. This is what we call the Google AI killer. If you are doing search the old way with Google, which we've all been trained to do, you put in search, you find the link, then you gotta find which one you want, you go from page to page to page. The difference is with Perplexity, and this is free to use, is it does the search for you, but what it does is it aggregates that information, sources all the information, and summarizes it, and then gives you the AI description. It is so much easier, better, and tremendously helpful compared to Google. Now, Google is starting to integrate Gemini into their searches, and you'll start to see that more and more. But if you haven't tried Perplexity, it is game-changing, and it's the one thing besides ChatGPT since the beginning that people have been talking about. They do have a paid version, and just so you know, on all of the services I talk about, you can do all of this for free. There are certain benefits to having the paid feature, and I'll go into that as to why you'll want to consider it. For example, for the Plus plan on ChatGPT, I paid $20 a month, and there's a reason I do that, but we'll go into that in a little bit. So an example of me using Perplexity is, what is Perplexity and why should Realtor use it? So not only does it summarize everything, but then it sources it and gives you the information so you can see where it gets from. But whenever I need a topic answered or ideas, I'm astounded at how easy it is to use AI to do the heavy lifting and get the information I want. So I definitely recommend you look into it. By the way, all the images that you see on this program, none of them are real. These are all generated using ChatGPT's image generation. So in terms of marketing alone, what we used to be able to do and what you can do now is astounding, especially in a business such as real estate. If you're looking to generate content for social media, marketing, newsletters, why you're out searching for images on Google, I have no idea, when you can have so much more fun doing it with ChatGPT.
That's not a real guy?
That is not a real guy. That is not a real guy. And I'm only touching on it, so this is scratching the surface. I think your jaws are gonna hit the floor when I show you what you can do. So why ChatGPT? Again, it's a simplicity. It's been around for a while, customization and speed. It's just easy to use, but again, I'm not saying it's the only reason. to use it, but it's one of the better ones. So again, liking it to my AI, this is a buffet. All I say is if you see something that interests you, spend a little bit of time each day between YouTube and the internet. There is a plethora of information you can learn from. Ask me questions, talk to other people. There are people out there that are doing way more than I am. I am just a title guy. I used to be an agent who is bringing this to you to make you aware. But if you really want to delve deeper, it's incredible. There's paid services out there, companies that will train you. But where can you start to use AI in your business is my goal today. So here's an example I like to use. We are inundated in our business using Bright and the MLS with data. Data. We might be well versed on how to use it. We could probably run a CMA or tax records like the best of them. However, your customers have no idea. And I see so many agents out there vomit this data. They want to know, hey, how's the market? Wow, interest rates are down and inventory is low and here in the average sales price, things that people really act like they want to acknowledge that they understand it, but a lot of people are intimidated by data. What if you were able to take data that we have access to through Bright, export it, and turn it into an infographic? This is just an example again. This is viable and free and easy. You take a geographic farm of a neighborhood, you export the listings in that neighborhood, maybe the solds, just actives, under contracts, you send it into ChatGPT, and you say, take this data and turn it into an infographic. One and done, no problem. It does the heavy lifting and will generate it for you. How cool would that be to put that on social media and say, hey, if you want more information, or an unsolicited CMA, you take all the sellers in your neighborhood, you zoom in with Google Earth, you get their house, you do a CMA, you upload that in and have it generate an infographic. Hey, I know you're not looking to sell your house now, but I'm just an expert in the area. Here's a CMA on your house. If you ever want to delve into a conversation and learn more about what your house is worth, give me a call. No agent is doing that.
The accuracy, when you pull that data out, obviously you have to look it over. What's the accuracy rate for that? Because sometimes I pull things through and it's completely.
Are you talking about from pulling from the MLS?
Well, I'm pulling data from anywhere. If I have AI create something for me, sometimes the data is off.
I'm not saying create it, because you are taking factual, relevant data from the MLS that is accurate, that you do know, and all you're doing is say, take this factual data and put it into a style that's visual, not make the data up. Because you are correct. That's a good point. A lot of people use AI to generate content, whereas in our business, you have to understand that we're bound by fair housing, ethics, things like that. One mistake, you can cost your license, go to jail. You don't want to advertise a 3-bedroom house with a fireplace when it's only a 2-bedroom condo. So I say, let AI be the author, you be the moderator, the editor. You want it to do the heavy lifting, the stuff, the research, but you gotta remember that it does hallucinate is the term it uses. It makes up content and will convince you that it's legitimate. And as a matter of fact, there are attorneys that are being disbarred for citing case law that never existed. So I like to use that example, but on the flip side, the power is in the technology and how it can do this without, but I appreciate you bringing that up, because a lot of people go, I'm just gonna write a listing description, and then they have it, and they go, they don't look at it and realize that's complete BS. But that's a good question right there. Now here's another example. Maybe you wanna do the reverse. I grabbed this from MAR, yeah. Now I laugh with listing descriptions because I remember the day, and don't deny it if you did it. I would literally go to the history of the property. I would steal the prior agent's comments, come over here, make it my own, and say, this is a beautiful, lovely house. Now we're just using technology to do it, but here's another example of using the AI. I just took a PDF. It could be a JPEG, it could be an image, it could be a spreadsheet. It doesn't matter. If it's digital, you can put it into AI and have AI manipulate it, change it, add to it, whatever you want. I just took this great infographic that MAR put out, and I said, I want you to convert this into a script that I can use to make my Reels or my TikTok videos or my YouTube video. Guys, how cool is that? You have literally a content creator, a content scheduler, a content editor. It will do it for you. I'm just, again, just trying to get you guys to get your wheels thinking. How about this? We all are out here soliciting our value propositions and reviews from our clients and customers. We want people to know what a great agent we are. Maybe we're using Realtor or Zillow or your Keller Williams, and you've got all these wonderful reviews from all these different people, and people may not be aware of it. People may not see it. What if you were to take and aggregate all your reviews, send it in to AI, and have AI, in turn, generate your value proposition or your mission statement? You've got 500 past clients that say, sing your praises, you deliver it and have it, and that was just a particular agent from Harford County, and you now have 300 people telling you the same thing in a concise format that you can now put out there to the world. A lot of people are like, I never thought about that. Just another example. We all know the old school, hey, let's get a listing description. We kind of touched on that. But one of the most powerful things it can do is manipulate and enhance your language. Anything from truncating it to changing the language that you're speaking in. If you want to make it more professional, more specific, more engaging, don't hesitate to do that. I do it a lot with my teenage son. He speaks an entirely different language in middle school or high school, and I don't know what he's talking about half the time. And I find myself literally copying text messages into AI, translating it so I know what he's talking about, and then cringeworthy me replying, and my son is like, Dad, stop it, you're not that cool. He calls me a boomer, even though I'm at Gen X, but what about social media? We all know the value and power of it. We're in a business now, and I came up in the world of the penny saver and the yellow pages. Now, as much as you want to argue,
So you must be a boomer.
I'm 51. I'm Gen X, so not quite there. But I know how a lot of people feel about social media, and I get it. A lot of people are frustrated. They don't want to do TikTok dances. They don't like the way their voice sounds. They don't like the way they look. I get it. I see it all the time. And as much as you may feel, I'm closeted an introvert. I don't like it. I'm private. But I understand the value and the importance of having a social media presence. Now, whether that's using Facebook or doing TikTok, it is where it is. And if you're not demonstrating your product, which is houses, or at least your brand, which is you, through the use of social media, you are missing out. And here's the thing, is you can argue all day long about how that's not how you run your business. That's not how we used to do it. I'm not that comfortable. I know my system. This is what the world expects from you now. And if you're not at least trying to learn to adapt, you're going to get past, and I see it all the time. We've got these old school agents that have been doing it their way, and these people get their license, and in 3 months they're running circles around these people because they're willing to adapt and learn and change. So the problem is, it's like, what do I say? What do I do? How do I write content? When do I write content? Guys, it's built into AI. You just start. Ask the questions. I'm looking to do a post on Facebook. I'm looking to have a calendar. When should I post? What do I say? AI will handle it for you, will write it, it will add the emoticons, the emojis. Maybe you want to do a script for YouTube. This is just me as an example. I took my son to a concert, and I said, I went to the concert with my son last night, and it wrote the post for me. And my son's like, that's pretty good, Dad. Could I have done that? Maybe, but that took 10 seconds, and it's just an example of what I use it for when I'm posting. Maybe you're someone that uses video. Maybe you're writing content for YouTube, and you're having trouble coming up with that awesome thumbnail image that people see, that you always see on YouTube. Well, guess what? AI can handle that no problem at all, especially with the image generation. So all these videos that you see people do, how do you think they're making them? Make me a thumbnail for a YouTube video about how to automate with AI video. Boom, done. All you have to do is upload your photo, take a selfie, and I can show you how to do this. This is just an example. I do a lot of video scripts. I like to make video content, and sometimes I wing it. Sometimes I like to actually have a script, and there's different ways you can do this. I can talk more in depth about using a, what is that, when the teleprompter on your app, if you want to do that, or there's an app I'm going to talk about later that will use AI. You can read your script over here, and it will make your eyes look like you're looking at the camera. Again, another really cool tool. It's pretty wild. So out there, we see all these agents that are out showing houses. I appreciate this. I'm also of the mind that at the settlement table, I appreciate when people sell a house and they say yes to the house and they take the picture with the key. That's all great, but everybody's doing that. And it's like, what are you standing out for? How are you setting yourself apart? Here's what the real people want to see. Yeah, they appreciate the market stats and the data. How about a day in the life of a realtor? What do you guys do all day? How do you write an offer? How do you get ready for an open house? How do you break down when you're doing multiple offers? These are the things I've seen so much successful agents will put up a little tripod, they'll start doing their little contracts on the computer, and they just film themselves, and then they make a script and they put it out there. I think this is great, especially if you have a house. You can have AI generate the script for you when you're walking through. You maybe upload the listing. It'll do that. I think this is very powerful, and it's just one more example of what you should be using AI. Direct mail may or may not be something that's even done nowadays, but if you are putting out marketing, flyers, content, you now have a built-in copywriter for free that can generate unlimited content indefinitely for free and will do all the heavy lifting for you. Same thing with newsletters. Text and email, I find this very useful, especially when dealing with disgruntled employees, disgruntled agents. Maybe you have a difficult seller that's getting you to refusing to reduce their price, and you want to communicate with them, but you want to do it in in a direct but professional tone, copy the email, paste it into AI and have it reply. Maybe you don't like the way it responds and make it funnier, make it sound like Jerry Seinfeld, make it sound like a pirate, do whatever you want, but AI is great, especially when you're trying to correspond with different types of people. I use this all the time. It's only getting better and faster, but I am shocked that people aren't using this more. If you're a blogger and you need content for your blog, AI is fantastic for it. This is another thing. If you guys don't have a Google business profile, you're shooting yourself in the foot. I mean, Google is the most visited site on the internet as of now. If you're ever on the site and you're looking up realtors or a service, and on the right-hand side of Google, you see that post that gives the name, the ranking, contact information. That's something you have to set up and you have to add to. That's why people are showing up, clients are not gonna go to page 3 to find the realtor. They're gonna wanna know, how do they get over here? So this is great for soliciting reviews, coming up with content, generating marketing materials, because remember, Google scrapes the internet. So all your videos, all your social media, all your blogs, your website, all gets tied back and will back end into Google and show up on your Google business profile. So the more content you're putting out there, and that goes back to social media, the more likely people are gonna be found. And sooner or later, if you're not on Google, that's how people are gonna find out who you are and whether or not you're worth them calling. Yes?
Additional piece on that. If you haven't set up a Google business profile with your KW email address yet, you should do so as soon as possible, because you can actually use that Google Analytics
There you
to
go.
feed your website. So your KW website, you can actually put the Google Analytics information into your settings and it'll start to feed each other.
So for more information, reach out to Glenn. Now YouTube, I am a big fan of YouTube because it's been since the beginning what we call long form content. YouTube is the second most searched site on the internet behind Google. We all know it's owned by Google. The agents that are leveraging long form video, think about this. You have the ability to generate content videos that last forever and will give residual value in terms of helping you rank and be found. But it's also nice that you can have videos of every topic you want. And I tell agents, why don't you do something like this? You all get the same questions from the first-time homebuyers. What are down payments? What are closing costs? What are interest rates? You make a video series using AI, generating the questions and the answers, and then you make a series of videos and just say, Real Estate 101 from soup to nuts. Here, I'm Chris Baker. Here's my take on what this is, and have videos that people will be able to search for and find. Nobody's doing that. And I'm like, this is mind-blowing. But again, AI can generate the scripts for you. Sooner or later, and it's happening very soon, clients are going to be integrated online with your website, your company, your personal blog using chatbots. It's now to the point where they're going to be able to respond to the chatbot as if they're talking to you. The chatbot knows your business, knows how you speak, knows everything about your company, about how you operate, what kind of client. And the client will do all the communicating at 2 o'clock in the morning, getting information about a house. And then when they're ready to make the appointment, it connects you to a real person. And that's when you have the conversation. Lenders are doing this now with qualifications because it's all data. They're not spending the time chasing down information. The clients are being pre-qualified just like real estate. And then when it comes time to meet, this is where we're headed with the future of where technology and AI is going. And when you hear some of the conversations that you can do with AI, you can't tell it's not a person. It's wild. There are ones that are bad, but I can demonstrate some. Again, if you're looking to get customer reviews, I know a hard part is getting that. Sometimes clients you don't know how to ask your clients for it. Well, AI can help solicit them. We're gonna have chatbots follow up and do that solicitation for you so that you're getting those customer reviews.
You can create fake reviews.
You can create what?
Just like fake reviews.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. We'll talk about that. Again, we touched on personalized response. Depending upon the customer, the client, the boss, whoever. Sometimes people go, did AI write that or did you write that? Maybe. So here's an example Tom Ferry talked about, and I think this is a great idea. He started talking about this about 6 months ago, and I think this is just a great way to set yourself apart from other agents. You go on a listing appointment. Right now, I ask agents all the time, what sets you apart? Why am I choosing you? Most agents put a sign in the yard, they put it in the MLS, and then they pray. I was guilty of that. Yeah, I might have a better marketing. Maybe I'm easily accessible. Maybe I've been doing this for 37 years. None of that matters. What makes you different? Well, here's an example of a way to set yourself apart. You have AI. You haven't met the seller. You haven't gotten the listing yet. You know you're going up against your competition. One, you can use AI, if you didn't know this, to research your competition. Know everything about that person, how they sell, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses, and then you can use AI to create counterpoints to that person. But prior to that, you go into a listing appointment. Maybe you grab the listing off of Zillow. Maybe you take your notes that you took. Maybe you grab the public prior data from the old listing. You throw that in AI and you say, AI, I'm about to go on a listing appointment and I want to win this listing. I want you to do me a couple things. First, I want you to create a conversation on this listing based on the information I'm going to give you. One professional tone, one luxury tone, and one conversational tone. And the first thing I want you to do is I want you to create a Facebook post for me. So in this example, I just grabbed a listing off of Zillow. I threw that, copied and pasted, and I asked it to do that. AI is like, no problem whatsoever. Boom, there's your Facebook post, which would have taken me a few hours, probably craft, price, it did it for me. So I now have a Facebook post. So I said, you know what? I'm not done with Facebook. I want to do an Instagram post. Can you convert that information now to a more tailored down, concise Instagram post? Again, something I could have done, and most people probably can, but we're now 30 seconds in and 2 posts have been done. Third, I want you then to take and generate a LinkedIn article. None of the people in this room are probably using LinkedIn, and that is a problem because I think it's being slept on, and I think there's a lot of power in that, especially as a professional social media network. But now I've got a Facebook post, a LinkedIn post, and now a LinkedIn article. And I'm gonna take it one step further. I know I'm gonna do a video about the house. While you're at AI, I want you to generate me a script so that I can make a YouTube video or TikTok trend reel, whatever. And in a matter of a minute, I now go and meet with the seller. And I said, Mr. Seller, I just wanna let you know, I wanna stand out. I've taken it upon myself to generate a huge marketing campaign. Here's what I'm gonna do for you, besides my flyers and door knockers and all these things. I've generated this post. The seller's gonna go, how did you do all this? That's amazing, and you've just now set yourself apart. So that's all great and fine and dandy. Well, what about next? Like, we're talking about text generation. Have you guys seen OpenAI, which is the company that created ChatGPT? Sora is their text to video generator. We're at the point now, and it's limited in terms of size. I think you can generate between 10 and 20-second videos, where it's getting so good and so impressive, you're not gonna be able to tell what's real and what's not. So this is a couple years ago, everyone was making fun of this video that went around of Will Smith eating spaghetti. It was grainy, it was choppy, it was weird, it was that uncanny valley. Then 2024 came out, and then what we're looking at 2025. This is just an example of what it looked like. And we're like, there's no way you're gonna be able to make it. That's not a real person. I would have been impressed by this. That was easy to tell. So where am I going with this? This is me using AI. I generated a script on, I literally used AI. I said, AI, create me a script that I can post into the Sora video generator of a realtor successfully completing a settlement and jumping up and down at the settlement table. That is not a real human. That's just an example. So imagine a time where you're gonna be able to generate a flyover drone shot of your listing with no drone operator for free, or a walkthrough of your video, or you talking ahead about your listing that you just got before you've even stepped into the house. What if you're looking to do a video of downtown Annapolis and you're trying to sell the lifestyle? Obviously, if you look closely, that's not Annapolis, but you get the point in terms of reality. This is going to be where it's getting better and better. And this again is using ChatGPT's it's called Sora. Maybe you want to sell the lifestyle. Clearly people sitting in the water in Ego Alley is a little weird, but I thought that was pretty funny when I looked at this. What I'm just trying to get you to grasp is that we're at a point now where video generation is gonna get better. This is the worst it's ever gonna be. It's only gonna get better. So when I made this about 6 months ago, Google VO had not come out. Google VO is gonna be a demonstration I'm gonna show in a minute, but let's say you wanted to highlight your neighborhood and you wanted to generate content, because video is king. Eyeballs and attention are the new currency. You want people to see your content. What if you're able to pick a neighborhood and generate a script and do neighborhood walkthroughs or videos so that people can see what you're seeing? Again, this was just an example of a video. Maybe you want to do a day in the life of a realtor and you don't want to film yourself. It's capable now. Now, Google VO came out about 2 weeks ago. This is their version of text generation. So this is where we're going, and people are still in shock at how ridiculous this is. I cannot believe the quality of the video. Again, there's a little bit of a lag here, but in the next example, I did this last night. I'm limited because I have the free account, and as you pay, you get more access to speed and length. But I said, make a video about a realtor in Annapolis closing a deal and celebrating by jumping out of a Blue Angels jet and skydiving into Annapolis with a just sold sign. I have no idea where they came from, but I wanted it to be something that was ridiculous and that we'd never seen before. So there's a little bit of a delay. So the sound's not gonna match up. That is not real, clearly. Wild, guys, right?
Wow.
Imagine if you put your face on that. So we're gonna see Tom doing that next week, because we've already signed him up. So maybe you wanna sell the lifestyle. You wanna talk about a particular neighborhood or an area or why you wanna move to Annapolis, and you don't wanna have to go out and film. It's getting to that point where you can do that. Maybe you wanna showcase your listing. You wanna go out and talk about your new home, and you don't have a camera crew, you don't have a fancy setup. You upload an image of the house, and based on just one still image, the listing could do a walkthrough and exterior shot of the house. So photographers are shaking in their boots. You want to talk about who's shaking in their boots is Hollywood. We're going to get to the point, guys, and it's happening sooner than later, where you'll be able to. What's that?
You don't need you anymore.
Yeah, you won't need me anymore. What if you could generate a television show that's no longer on air? Maybe you want to continue to watch Cheers and add whatever characters you want. It'll be at the point where you're going to say, put this person into the show, make this, and continue to generate movies relevant to your likes, your dislikes. It is scary, and it's very scary. Well, what about this? I know my biggest complaint doing this when I see people is, Chris, I hate being on camera. I'm shy. I don't like my voice. What if you could take and generate a digital avatar of yourself one time, and from that digital avatar, make unlimited videos and content on any topic and any language you want? This is what you're about to see. I use a software called HeyGen, and we'll demonstrate this. HeyGen had me upload about a minute video talking about whatever I wanted. I think I was talking about my son's basketball game. And from that video, it got my mannerisms, my voice, and cloned myself. Now, at any point in time, on any topic I want, I can make a script in AI, paste it into ChatGPT, and then make it go into HeyGen. I can create a talking head video. So what you're about to see, I've never spoken these words. That is me. It's my voice, but I've never said this.
Thinking about moving to Annapolis? Let me show you why this historic waterfront city might just be the perfect place for you to call home. Annapolis is a perfect blend of historic charm and modern convenience. Located between Washington, D.C. and Baltimore, it offers an easy commute while giving you that small town feel.
See my hand movements, my lips are matching my words. I did not record that video.
Love the water? Annapolis is known as...
Would you be able to tell if I didn't tell you that? No. Most people would be like, oh, it's Chris talking video.
Because you're folding your hands the same way now.
Now it's to the point where it'll actually have me walking around. If I want to do a video where I'm walking, it'll do that.
More than just a place to live.
So, what if I had a still image? This is a little bit weird for me, but I'm just telling you, this is where it used to be. But I use an example where I could actually take a still image. I'm not a fan of this, but this is just so you can demonstrate.
My mission is to provide
It's a little weird. So you can have some fun with it. Maybe you have grandparents, deceased relatives and loved ones, celebrities, famous people. Kids are now learning in school from Abraham Lincoln about the information. Kids are seeing real life photos. You ever seen the videos of your guys hugging their grandparents? You may or may not be a fan, but
Can you make me look like Elvis?
I could. So this is again me using my avatar to talk about the title business.
Chris, a real estate professional with a strong background.
I know. If you really want to look like Elvis.
Title insurance and agent support. Over the years.
So that's me speaking in English. Anyone in the room speak Spanish?
Yes.
Do me a favor. I don't speak Spanish. I have no idea what I'm saying. Tell me if you didn't know.
La inteligencia artificial, o IA, está transformando la industria inmobiliaria de maneras increíbles. Nuestro papel es
So it takes 5 seconds to make that video.
transacciones inmobiliarias.
Russian with an Italian accent, Italian with an African accent. You want me to sound like a woman? High pitched, low pitched, teenager?
Bud Light.
Bud Light. So what I just demonstrated, guys, you have now access to an entire set of clientele that you never would have. Now the problem is if anybody calls me and wants to know about real estate, I'm calling you because I have no idea how to speak Spanish. I'm demonstrating a point, guys. This is where we're heading. So just have the sense that what you see on the internet now, you don't know if it's real or not.
What you're showing there, this, you're gonna, how I can.
You want to know how to do that?
do it.
Ah.
Because I'm very shy to do it.
It could be yours for $19.99 a month. No, just kidding. We'll show you. Guys, I do this for free because I'm excited about it. I like to provide value. I give, because I like the karma and the positivity of it. But I am excited about this. Here's another really cool technology, especially for like today. I'm recording this video. It's gonna be about an hour. Not everybody has an hour to waste or sit back. Opus Clip allows me to take my long form content, YouTube videos and such, upload it in software. It breaks it down using AI, analyzes it, and makes the clips for you, for me to then share short form video on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. It then analyzes the video and says, this is the most viral ready clip, and then we'll rank them. So I will take an hour video, maybe get 10, 12 clips out of it, and then I can share that. And this is just an example.
This is AI calling for real purposes to give you proof of how these sales calls are being handled. Imagine a time you have
And you notice it puts the quotes, the captioning.
Listen to this AI sales rep cold call prospect. This is using Air AI, a platform that connects it.
So HeyGen is the company, HeyGen. This is not free. I'm happy to do a demonstration after it, but if you want more information, hands down, without a doubt, the de facto standard in AI image generation. Not only can do that, it can make you look like Elvis. I did uploaded one photo and I had to do headshots for me. This is just one example, but if I wanted to do professional, or I wanted to wear a dress, or I want to change my hairstyle, or I can do that now, and this is just one example. So maybe you want to get some professional headshots done, but you don't want to pay for a professional photo session. That can be done using HeyGen. Maybe you have an image that you want to make talk. Again, very easy to do.
I'm doing a demonstration.
It's weird,
What?
but I'm just demonstrating the technology. I'm more of a fan of the digital avatar.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Can you interface or blend that in with stuff like Gilligan's Island or TV shows and MASH and whatever? It doesn't matter.
When you say so like overlay it or put like Gilligan and Skipper and me in the
Something
video.
like that. Yeah.
Sure. And maybe we try it. A lot of it you gotta remember is copyrighted.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So you gotta be careful. Remind you then, I'll even show you how to generate your own music using AI in a matter of a minute on any song you want. And it's unbelievable what you can do with AI, and I gotta add that to the presentation. But because it's copyrighted, it'll let you know, hey, we can't do that due to copyright violations, but you get pretty damn close. Or get the theme, put me on a tropical island with a guy in a red shirt and a guy with a skipper hat. Maybe that will work. But I like where you're going with that. I would have gone MASH, but. This is the app I was talking about earlier. Let me let her demonstrate so you can see what I'm talking about.
So what's funny about this video is that I'm actually staring at a script and reading from a script, but a neural network makes it look as if I'm looking at the camera. And also the captions that you see here were not done by my editor. They were done by a neural network. It's just amazing how the world is changing with AI. All you have to do is upload a video where you're reading from a script. The app is called Captions, and it has this feature where it makes you look at the camera. Isn't that exciting?
I thought that was pretty cool. And the reason I talk about caption is, guys, half the people that are watching your videos, your content, and I'm included, are doing it in grocery stores or at the doctor's office with the sound off. If you don't put captions on your content, you're missing out on that ability to get that video out. So Captions does it, CapCut does it, TikTok does it, Instagram does it. This just happens to be the one that I think I pay $10 a month. It takes and generates really cool content, and you can actually enhance it with AI and put graphics and background and music if you want to go that route.
Was she real?
That was a real person, but that was her reading the script, but you, the client, saw it, because after you record your videos, one of the features says, would you like to enhance your video with AI? And it will analyze it using the neural network and will take my eyes and make it look like
Is there disclaimers on the videos to say if it's your avatar or if it's real?
Not that I'm aware of, like a watermark or something like
Yeah,
that. That's the
something
problem, is how do you know what's real? I mean, in the political climate that we live in now, half the videos on the internet I just automatically discount because I see this stuff.
Maybe that needs to be a law, not to add more.
Have you seen that one that has the?
That legislation is currently being discussed.
It's a scary point. That's a really good point. Not that I'm aware of, but some people, their judgment can tell, but it's to the point now.
Yeah, because we were just talking about liability as far as, I mean, you go out.
Well, here's the thing on that.
and-
When I did my HeyGen video and I generated a digital avatar, it's not lost on me that the first thing I tried to do was impersonate my friends. And I wanted to make videos of them doing ridiculous things. And the first thing they're like, you have to upload a video giving verbal and video consent. I'm Chris Baker. I'm allowing you to use my likeness to generate that video. If I tried to do it with a friend, they would have been like, no, because that was the first thing I would do. I want to prank all my buddies and make them do stuff they would have never done.
Yeah.
Of course, that's where my mind went. But so that's one disclaimer. There are guardrails with AI. Like if you try to ask it how to build a nuclear bomb or hide a body, that's probably gonna be something we won't do. Are there workarounds? I don't know, maybe, sure. I'm not gonna admit to that.
Can you do faux testimonials?
Maybe. Like that video of that woman talking, I grabbed her off the
I mean,
internet.
like celebrity, you know, pick an entertainment, what a celebrity person.
People are doing
I
it all
love
the
that
time.
guy Lance, he's a great realtor.
Yeah.
Jack, you know.
Well, we could make, absolutely, one of the things about HeyGen is not only can you do your own avatar, there's a slew of digital heads that you can get, and you can go on there. That's a great idea.
I mean,
Have all
Fud,
these, make
Bugs Bunny,
3,000 verbal
get
testimonials.
Fred Flintstone, get cartoon characters and just like,
Well,
yeah.
absolutely. So here's one I like to talk about. We all know what RPR is, Realtor Property Resource. We're all familiar with it. You as agents are the only ones that have access to this. I think it's a great tool. I loved it when I was a realtor, except the reports are too lengthy, too verbose, too much information. But here's Jimmy Burgess from KW, not KW, but Berkshire Hathaway in Florida. This is him talking about, again, Tom Ferry and him came up with this idea. This is powerful stuff.
I'll show you exactly how to see this. So we're going into this and we're on the RPR main page. And we're going to go up to the research portion up top here, or you can see this tab that we'll click, and we're going to click on residential market trends. That's going to take us to this page where we have the ability. I'm just going to utilize R324.
Whatever zip code you're working in.
And what's going to happen is it's going to give us all these reports. But if you'll notice right up here to the right, you'll see this Create Script tab. Now, when we click that Create Script tab, this is where the AI comes in. It's going to take us to the next page, and it's going to give us the ability to choose our tone on what we're looking for, professional, engaging, or something that's conversational. And also, we can address whether we're wanting this to be directed at buyers and sellers, buyers specifically, or sellers specifically. Next thing we're going to do is this tab down here, we're going to click this social campaign, and here's what's going to happen is all of the details of the entire market of what's been going on statistics-wise, it's going to convert this to an SEO optimized social media post that gives us the ability with, it's going to have hashtags, it's going to have the emojis, and it's going to have something. Now, I would encourage you with all of this, anything you're doing with AI, make sure you change it up a little bit and you put it in your own words. But now what's happened is you've got a complete social media ability to post something that has all of the market details. It gives you a detailed report, and you utilize the AI to give it to you in a way that is easy for you then to have the ability to transfer that in. The next tab, we're going to go back up there. Instead of keep clicking on the social campaign, we're now going to click on Analyze Metrics. And what you'll see here is this is giving this to you in the form of a blog post or something that is more written. This could be for LinkedIn. Again, modify this to be in your voice, but you've got all the statistics on what's going on in your local marketplace that's already organized to you in just a few clicks. And last but not least, create video blog or create video scripts on the next tab. This is going to give us a script. Again, voice, but you've got a video script now where you can absolutely give an update on your current market with all that. And if you have trouble reading your script, remember what we just talked about? Just print out what you have right here, take it, put that post up, read that script, move it into the Captions app. You got that eye contact you were looking for, and now you've got something you can really work with. All right, next up.
So the power in this, guys, is something that you have access to is the relevant, real-time, true data that a lot of people want to know. It's built into RPR, so you know it's going to be accurate because it ties right into Bright. And then you can do, like we said, create scripts, marketing, and social materials. Because before, if you wanted to use ChatGPT, you were limited to what data set it had access to. And for a while, it was only limited to like 2024. Now, with its ability to reach out to the internet, it can get more relevant data, but nothing's going to be better than a true feed from the MLS. So I think it's a powerful tool that a lot of people need to take advantage of. So any questions on RPR? One of the things about ChatGPT, by the way, also if you're not leveraging this, you're missing out. One thing you got to understand is it's a chat bot, meaning you have to converse. A lot of us are trained to be Google searchers. We type one time, we don't like the answer, and we move on and we start a new chat. The more you converse with it, correct it, modify, hone it down, the better the answers get. But even before that, did you know under the settings, under ChatGPT, you can actually customize it to know who you are, who your client database is, what you like to respond, how you like to respond. It is a game changer when it comes to your responses once you provide this information to ChatGPT. So I actually had ChatGPT generate a list of 30 questions. It asked me, who am I, what do I do, and things it wanted to know. And then I took time to fill it out. I then copied it and pasted it back in. So now every one of my answers in ChatGPT knows I'm a former realtor, I'm a title agent, I'm a dad, I'm a dog lover. I have all these things, so when I write a question, I don't have to start in there and coax it in knowing who I am. And over time, it's gotten better and better and better, especially if you have multiple personalities or different career paths, whatever the reason is. Same thing with the memory feature. The memory feature is another thing that you can use on ChatGPT that remembers prior conversations, and based on the information you provided, like you have a kid, or you're in real estate, or you like to cook or ride horses, it will remember that, and you can always clear it if you want to start anew, or you just want to make sure. But that is a feature you want to make sure is turned on, is fill in under settings, your personalization, turn on custom instructions, and also make sure memory is clicked on. That will change your response.
That's the paid version.
That's built into the regular version.
Okay.
Paid
So,
version, yes.
I have a question.
Sure.
So, if you go in LinkedIn, in Instagram, can you clear up everything too?
Yes.
Because to be honest with you, my daughter, she create all of that stuff for me. She put fun names.
You can clear
So now I
conversations.
don't know how to clear that.
There's, yeah, you can do, under settings, you delete conversations. And by the way, if you have a profile online and you're logged in with your email, your Gmail, make sure that you download the mobile app and you're logged in with the same email, because you might be working on your computer, it will sync to your phone, and whatever you do on your phone, it will sync to the cloud, and that just makes your life easier. Another version of a feature that just came out with ChatGPT is the ability to do tasks. Well, people go, well, what do you mean like that? Well, maybe you want to have anything from reminding you to exercise to, I personally have it go out and get the AI news of the day at 5 in the morning. I also ask it to get me the market update for Severna Park, where I live, in Annapolis, where I also work. I have it give me motivational quotes every day. I have it every day go out to the internet and find something funny that I could relate to my teenage son. So these are just tasks that I use it for. But maybe you're a realtor and you don't have a transaction coordinator or assistant, and maybe you have a list from beginning to end on how you handle a transaction. What if every time you got a contract, you initiated the task function and you have it do all the things you do in a contract so that you're on top of it? Now this will notify you through the app, it'll text you, it'll be on the website, it can even email you. So you know you're never gonna overlook anything, because the task feature is built in for free, and a lot of people don't know that. You just say, create a reminder or a task and tell it what to do. I just think that's a cool feature I wanted you to know about.
Just give me, well, number 3 there, the social media stuff. Is that set up on your personal page or business page stuff that people say?
So my thoughts on that, for the longest time, I was, and we are all taught, to have 2 profiles, one for personal, one for business. Your personal friends didn't want to see you vomit about real estate. Your business page, you didn't want to talk about what you did that Saturday night with all that alcohol you drank. So I was like, all right, I always had a business page and I had a personal page. I like the business page because with a business page, you can advertise and pay for promotions. Can't do that with a personal page. I'm now the school of thought I do everything on my personal page.
So for YouTube, you should create a new YouTube channel for you, because I have one.
That's entirely up to you.
It's
There's no right or wrong answer. It's what I personally do. Like, I am marketing and advertise myself as Maryland Title Guy. I'm Maryland Title Guy at Gmail, Maryland Title Guy on YouTube, I'm Maryland Title Guy on the social. Because if you're not branding yourself, you're missing out on opportunity. So I highly recommend, and even use AI to come up with ideas to brand yourself. That doesn't mean you have to be anything particular, but you should have some kind of branding. So in regards to social media, I post most of my stuff on Instagram and TikTok, and then I automatically have it shared to Facebook for my friends that are older and that see it on there. So I don't try to do a little over here on Instagram and then do something different. I just do one time and I share it out to my different social media. I don't know if that helps you, but there's no right or wrong answer.
How long do you take to do the social media?
Oh, well, it depends. I'm not as heavily as involved as you'd think I would be, but I have reminders, and I use AI to generate a content creator. It says, okay, Chris, on Monday, put out TikTok videos. On Wednesday, put out your Instagram videos, and on Friday, do a YouTube video. And I have that remind me. But
How does it remind you? Like,
oh, it reminds me.
Saturday?
I'll get a notification on my phone. I'll have it on my
That's
calendar. I mean, you can have it do multiple different ways. Where we're getting, and then to step onto that conversation, where it's going now, ChatGPT now is introducing Operator. Now this is a $200 a month feature, and this is gonna get better and better and cheaper. But it's at the point now where you're going to be able to ask GPT to accomplish tasks, and it will operate on your behalf. So let's say I'm going on vacation right now. I gotta find the car, I gotta find the location, I gotta book the hotel, I gotta book the plane tickets, I gotta get my restaurant set up, my excursions. Very soon, if I'm with Operator, I can just say, I'm going to Italy, go. Does all that for me. It has access to the internet, will book the trip, set the reservation, book the excursions, bill your credit card, access the anything and everything. And people are like, I'm not gonna do that. Well, I mean, how many of us have an Alexa right now that tells it to turn on the lights? I mean, that's AI, or a Spotify or a Netflix recommendation, that's AI. You're giving it data This is just gonna take it the next step further. I'm a little hesitant about that, but again, we have driving cars with no drivers.
Will that do some of the things that you just went over as far as setting up?
Hands down, no problem at all. That's not even scratching the surface. I can't even begin to fathom what we can do with AI.
Yeah.
This is just when I'm starting to see the demonstrations of where we're headed. Think about this, it's a point coming real soon where a customer is gonna be able to walk into a house with their smartphone. They're gonna be able to access it because they wanna show the property without the use of a realtor because the phone knows who it is. They're gonna be able to unlock it with their finger or their visual face recognition. They're gonna be able to go, I like this house. They're gonna be able to talk to a lender via AI, get qualified, submit their money in deposit through blockchain and cryptocurrency, conduct a transaction, close on the house, and buy a house at the end of the day because everything is data-driven, secure, and they may not even speak to a realtor at that time. I'm not trying to scare you, but just like travel agents, remember we used to call and pick up the phone? Those are gone. That's only gonna get faster, better, easier, cheaper. And from beginning to end, one of the things I'm gonna show at the end of the presentation, we all saw how Rocket Mortgage bought Redfin. They're gunning for this industry where they want control from beginning to end and everything in between because of money, and they're all gunning for this technology. So if you're not familiar with it, or at least trying to make it more personal using AI, we're all gonna be replaced by these institutions. I mean, we don't want these big black rocks buying up all of our neighborhoods. We want local buyers. We don't want these big Zillows of the world controlling .loop and showing time. Oh, they already do. But you see what I'm saying is you gotta be real careful if you're not prepared for this and fight back because it's gonna happen. But here's one of the reasons I wanna talk about the paid version is your ability to upload data like we did in the beginning. You have to have the paid feature in order to send documents. So besides creating marketing materials, when I was a realtor, I would upload the home inspection report. And I would have the home inspection report and I'd go, write the PIN for me. It would analyze the report based on the recommendations of the home inspector. It would generate the PIN and it would save me so much time because it would do it for me. Or at a multiple offer situation. 10 offers, Excel spreadsheet, gives it to AI. Which offer should I take? It analyzed the concessions, the loan amount, the price, the guarantee. It would tell me which offer to take. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Replacing the mundane, the boring, the repetitive tasks. That's what you can do with AI. Manipulate data, create it and make infographics. Taking trends, and maybe you wanna show trends that you can share on social media. Maybe you wanna create pie charts of your production, brag about yourself, put out material. Maybe it's great, but that looks good. Maybe you can then turn that, or this data, into something that you can share again on social media. And again, this is just an example. I was on CMAU, I exported the results of a particular zip code, and then I took that file that I had exported, I uploaded it in ChatGPT, and I made this chart, and then I said, ChatGPT, turn that into an image that I can now brag about. Mr. Seller, I just want to let you know that I'm the #1 agent, and here's a liar that they don't know. I'm not saying the lie, but you get my point. That is an AI-generated image. Maybe you want to use it to create interactive properties so you can compare when you're working with clients, and you can demonstrate based on their likes, their needs, their income level, their budget, and you have different AI notebooks that will be able to literally tell them what property they should buy. You want to look at neighborhood trends? AI can turn that data into something that's easier to interpret. Maybe you're working with an investor and you want to have ROI, personal property recommendations. Maybe you want to analyze the school based on the data that's provided by Bright to give someone, okay, here's the school districts you want to live in. How about commute time optimization? Again, these are all just ideas. Market condition reports, of course, renovation assistance. I thought this was fun. I'm not telling anyone in this room, disclaimer, to commit tax fraud. But what if you were able to generate a receipt for a bill, for a dinner that you had with your client? People go, yeah, okay, Chris, that's one. I could tell that's fake. There's no way you would only spend $354 at Ritz Chris. Also, I could tell that's AI. You can tell that's AI? Again, just an example. Make it look like it was in my pocket, crumbled up. I'm being humorous here, but this is where we're going. Having a little bit of fun. Everyone saw the action figure trend on social media. I was doing a presentation with EXP and Remax the other day, and I was like, give me 2 realtors having a little fun contest. Have a figure. What about this? Not only can I make a figure.
Hi, this is Chris Baker with Liberty Title, otherwise known as Maryland Title Guy. If you're looking for an amazing settlement officer, I'm your guy. Give me a call if I can.
Some fun? How about this? We all know what staging is. We probably even know what virtual staging is. It's not cheap, it's convenient. It's cheaper than a real stager. But what if I could take a room like this, just grab this off the internet, throw it into ChatGPT and say, stage that for me with a modern chic design for free. Guys, I don't know why you're paying for a stager. Turn it into 70s chic, make it 80s retro. I don't care, change the paint color. It now is so good, it will remember that and will change it to anything you want. Here's where I'm gonna do a demonstration of Notebook LM. Notebook LM is Google's notebook language model. This allows you to upload and create individual notebooks. I've used YouTube videos, I'm talking with an attorney, my personal background. I like it because on one example, uploaded the Maryland contract of sale. And I know as a manager, when I was a manager, my biggest time suck was so many people ask me questions. What is time is of the essence? Who pays closing costs? What's a down payment? And I just explain and explain and explain. So with something like Notebook LM or with ChatGPT, you can upload PDFs. In this example, I used the contract of sale. Now that the contract of sale is in there, any agent, any person can ask questions. What is the difference between time is of the essence or closing costs? Or what is paragraph 34 mean? What does this mean? And you can ask questions and have it respond because AI knows everything about the document. It's a game changer because now when I have a new agent that has tons of questions, I direct them to that particular notebook on that particular topic. I, on the other hand, use it for YouTube videos. I don't have the time to watch YouTube videos, so I upload them into Notebook LM for free, and then it will summarize, give me the key points, but the real power, and I'll demonstrate in a second, is it creates an AI podcast between a man and a woman that sound like a real man and a real woman that will discuss between a 5 and 10 minute podcast all the meats and bones of that. Where it got really emotional for me is I had conversations of my mother before she passed away that I was having difficulty understanding of regarding finances and the estate, and the AI took real conversations and real topics and broke it down into it so I can drive in my car and listen to that conversation. It is wild, and I'll demonstrate that so you can see what I mean. So I was using the example of going on a trip to Japan, and I grabbed a couple videos and websites from various blogs and I uploaded in there, and the AI was able to generate not only summarizing all this data into a simple summary, but then it generated a conversation giving me everything I need to know in like a 10-minute conversation, and I'll play one for you just so you can see it. This is another really cool feature of Gemini, and I'll do a demonstration to show it, but Gemini Live now allows you to give the AI access to your screen, so whatever you're seeing on your screen, in real time, it's like having a tutor for any topic you want. I was trying to learn how to do a screenshot or an Excel spreadsheet, and the AI, because it sees my screen, will literally walk you through how to do anything. I was trying to learn how to use CapCut, and because the AI was looking at my screen, it was walking me through like a tutor, showing me how to use CapCut. So I'll show you that. This is another really fun example of AI.
We just found a great AI tool for you realtors, especially if you focus on your sphere of influence, but there's a ton of uses for what I'm about to show you. So it is called BeHuman.ai. And check this out. You shoot one video, one time. Hey John, it's Andrew. I wanted to invite you to my client event. And then of course, anything else you would generally say in that video. Then here's the really cool part. You upload a CSV file, or of course you can type them in manually if you would like, their name and their email address, or however you want to get in touch with them. And you upload it to the system and hit submit. What this is going to do is it is actually going to manipulate the video to change your words and your voice itself. It's going to be in your voice, and change the name. Instead of hey John, it'll be hey Steve, hey Jessica, hey whatever the names are that you put in that list. And then it's going to send that customized video to them. So you can blast this out to your entire database and have it be personalized.
So it's like taking mail merge from back in the days when we do Avery's printer labels, mail your database and bomb videos, and now you can send out marketing material using AI just like I demonstrated. I thought that was pretty cool. Who here is using the chat feature on their device where you see the circle and actually converse? Is anyone here talking to their phone? Then I'll do a demonstration of that because it doesn't do it justice talking about it. The old way of typing, it's not in our natures as humans. We learn by conversing and listening. And once you see this feature that's free to all and are able to demonstrate and talk to it, I talk to this device every day. It's my therapist, it's my attorney, it's my medical doctor, it's my title coach, it's my my parental guide, anything. It gives me ideas. It is astounding that you can talk to an AI robot like it's a human on any topic as long as you want. And the value I get from this and the realizations and just examples I've had, I just can't believe it. It's kind of scary. It's insane to the point where they have dedicated AIs now. One of them is called a character AI, where teenagers are falling in love with the AI because it speaks to you how you want to be spoken to. It knows everything about you. It compliments you. It praises you. It doesn't speak negative. So of course, humans are building connections. They are estimating that with our grandkids, there will be a time, and I think this is weird to say, but I've been watching people talk, where they're going to have humanoid robots with AI personalities that people are going to marry. I'm not going to go too far on
No,
that.
I imagine.
I mean, you've seen the movie Her. You've seen the movie where that's what happens in the movie. Another demonstration I'll do is Maya. Just so you know, for those that ask, this device I like to talk about, my battery died, but Tom has his running. I have this device, and I'm a huge fan of it because we have lots of conversations every day, all of us do in this business. This device goes on the back of your phone. You can record meetings like this, or you can hit a switch like this. This is just, let me show you what this does. This is a device that sticks to the back of my phone, and it picks up ambient conversation, or if I'm having a phone call, I just hit the switch and it'll record through the phone through vibrations. It uses AI to record everything you say with permission, transcribes it, and then using AI, it will summarize everything we talked about. So in the countless conversations I have every day, sometimes it's hard to keep up with everything. You might be dealing with hundreds of clients a day, and you don't remember everything that was said. This device is a lifesaver, and Tom's recording now with his, so I will have an AI summary of everything we talked about. So not only the video, you're gonna get a summarization of all the topics I talked about. So this is a hardware device. This is called Claude AI. I just like to share that because it's brought me so much value. I don't want you guys to be aware of it. Let me finish real quick and just say, look, this is not the difference between being a tech-enabled agent, which is like the newest, best toys, and the coolest cell phone, and the best beeper, whatever we use, versus being AI empowered, which is, guys, take these tools, these ideas, these suggestions, and use it, maybe one, maybe two tools, to make your life better, easier, and faster. Don't try to do everything. You're not gonna be able to do it. It's just gonna be one more thing that you have to add to the list of the already countless things you have to do. There is a race to see who's gonna be the dominant player in AI, which is kind of scary. But as long as you're on the cutting edge and you're at least trying to be familiar with it, you're not gonna be run over. And even if you do one thing and that helps you do your business better, that's a win. So I'm just trying to tell people, like, that's talking about the, these are just some, I'm not gonna go into more details because this is gonna be the end of the presentation, but I'd like to do a real quick demonstration so you can see what I meant by Google LM and what I meant by the notebook in the conversation, so you can see why I'm such a fan of it. So I have multiple notebooks set up under Notebook LM. I'm sorry, let me get the website loading. There's a little bit of a delay. Let's see if it loads right here. This is throwing me off with the, let me recycle the screen.
So they're your notebooks, can you share them?
Yeah. Go back to Notebook. Here we go, that's what I'm looking at. So in this example, so I had a YouTube video on 25 ways to generate real estate leads in 2025. About a 45-minute video. And then it summarized it for me, and then from here I can ask questions. What was the topic? What was the best topic? Or and you can see it summarized it for everyone. But the power is when I generated an AI podcast. Let me play that for you so you can see what I mean.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping right into what's really a critical topic for anyone in real estate.
Yeah.
Generating leads consistently, especially looking ahead to 2025.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've been digging into some really insightful stuff.
So what you're hearing right now is an AI-generated podcast. This particular one happens to be 22 minutes. It was an hour video, but I do this with audiobooks or PDFs. Documents that take too long to read. I will upload it into Notebook LM for free. Usually I get the value out of what I need because it summarizes it for you. But then when I'm in the car, if I want to learn more, because we like to learn auditorily, I push the podcast button. And I thought, this is incredible. Everyone I show this to is blown away because you may have various uses for that.
What is it called?
This is called Notebook LM. It's Google's notebooks, and it stands for Notebook LM. Right here is the word. It's Notebook Language Model. And all you have to do is you just click Create New, and from here you say what source. Do you have a Google Doc, Google Drive, Google Slides? Do you have a website, a YouTube link? or you have text that you want to copy. Maybe you generated something from AI and you want to paste it in there, and then you just upload it, and that's a source. And you can upload multiple sources. So maybe you have a PDF and a YouTube video and a website on any topic, and it's free. I just thought, I've got to share that with people. And everyone I share it to is blown away. But let me go back. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to do a demonstration so you guys can see.